think it's about time I changed people's equipment again. First of all, everybody should have a healing materia. I know in most RPGs there's usually one party member who is specifically a healer. But what's nice about Final Fantasy VII, and probably other games, is that nobody has to be relegated to one specific role. I know I've called Aerith a white mage and Tifa the monk, Cloud is the warrior, but you can give everybody any kind of materia, and they can be able to cast certain spells. The thing about Aerith is that originally she didn't have one before I just gave it to her. Healing materia. Isn't that weird? And now I own 6 healing materias, which counts for everybody. Though admittedly my favoritism does show when it comes to Cloud, as he can cast various other kinds of materia. Healing, yes, but he also has ice, fire, lightning, and wind together, and some other ones. But he's the main character. What, am I gonna not show him special treatment? Wait, is that the enemy from Final Fantasy VIII? It is! Can I use Blizzard on it? Well, I didn't use Assess on this particular one, but apparently not. You'd think that an ice spell would work on a fire creature, but nope, not in this one. Final Fantasy VIII, absolutely, because that's what Quiztis told me. But in their 6th appearance, since Final Fantasy II, you can't. You just gotta wail on them until they get tired. I was looking it up to see if any of the previous iterations of the enemy was weak to ice, but they're not saying anything on the wiki. Let me go further. Final Fantasy VII Remake. First Soldier Before Crisis. Final Fantasy VIII. And it still doesn't say anything about it being weak to Blizzard. Okay, so if you've never played Final Fantasy VIII before, or any of these games I guess, and you were only reading the wiki because you were curious, you would probably be asking yourself, wait a minute, why doesn't it say anything about this fire enemy being weak to ice, or water attacks? Maybe in this game, Square was thinking they should be different about it? Nah, let's not make the fire weak to water or ice. That's too easy. Just make them hit it a bunch, I guess. But, dude, that makes so much sense. It's very satisfying. It ticks with a thing in the player's brain. They connect the dots and they exploit the obvious weakness, as obvious as it is, which might make it boring to some, and then they defeat the enemy by using what is clearly should be. It's fine. Just let it be the thing. Please tell me you understood exactly what I was trying to say in my rambling. I mean, I get it. I try to do things differently as well so I can stand out, or at the very least, avoid plagiarism and copyrights. There's this series that I'd like to make, which was inspired by Final Fantasy, and at first, I didn't have classes, and I didn't call them jobs. Instead, I called them positions. At a point, I asked myself, dude, why are you trying so hard? Just call them classes. It's okay. Alright. In this other fantasy series that definitely I tried to set apart from others, I originally just had orcs, elves, and dwarves, but I gave the dwarves their own unique twist. Like, they're actually different from other presentations of them in fantasy. So I decided, okay, well, they don't really resemble dwarves that we're used to, so let me just give them a different name. But even after changing the name of the elves, they still had the pointed ears, so I should probably change that too. The only thing that sets them apart right now is that they got blue skin and lavender hair. I thought it looked nice. And the orcs, I don't know if they still really resemble orcs as we know them. First of all, they all got black skin, charcoal, and red hair, but they also have the tusks. They got these small tusks instead of bottom canine teeth, so that might make people confused. Like, why are you even calling them a different thing? That's obviously an orc. I can tell what you're trying to do. Okay, back to the game. As you can see, I started selling my materials. What I told myself is that as long as it doesn't have 3 stars or more, I would just go ahead and sell the materials, regardless of how useful they may be later on when it comes to item transmutation. It's probably fine. No! Not the baby chocobos! Okay, perfect. They got a weakness of fire and I don't know what that other thing is. But also, just do enough damage at it while it's in the air. Meaning you should probably play as Yuffie, no matter how much you want to play as Tifa just because she's stronger. Oh yeah, or play as Barret. But remember when I said that everybody should have a healing materia? Well, I guess we should also all have fire materia? Because it seems like we run across a lot of enemies or bosses that are weak to fire. I do not have Yuffie equipped with that. Or even Barret. Isn't that weird too? You'd think that out of all people, Barret would have a fire spell? Nope. I didn't give that to him. I'm sorry. And here comes the cyclones. I guess I was able to lock on those, and I could hit them with some elemental spells. That way, if the bird over here ends up hitting the cyclones with the elemental spell, it'll get pressured and therefore stagger easily. I didn't do that. I guess my dumb caveman brain just gets way too much dopamine when we hit something instead. We're not accustomed to spells just yet. Just bash the enemy's brains in until it dies. Oh, you were so done for. Now just bash it a couple more times and we're good. Well, I still get it done. It was better than the first time I played this game, I think. I remember it killing me a few times before I was able to take it down. And now the chocobos are safe. Come on, Barret, it likes you. It's Cloud Jr.